plaintiff, Constance Ashley, says the defendant is her daughter, and she was a troubled child who dropped out of school at the age of 14. Constance claims she was living with the defendant, but she called the police and had Constance removed from the home, and she's suing her daughter for unreturned property. Defendant Danielle DeLashman says Constance was never there for her or her 5 siblings due to her drug addiction. Danielle claims after Constance went to jail for stabbing her sister, Danielle got custody of 2 of her siblings. But they were taken away after Constance called DCFS and said Danielle was selling ecstasy. She's countersuing for defamation.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor. Danielle growing up was, a troubled teen, 14, dropped out of high school, drinking, drugging. So I let her get...
Did you get her counseling or anything?
We tried, but she was able to turn it down and they couldn't make her do it. She denied it and they wouldn't make her do it.
That would be an objection.
Hold on.
Department of Children and Family Services, because back then, Your Honor...
They say it's up to you.
Yes. And we had a case...
Back when?
Back in 2003 or 4, when she was like 14. I had a DCFS case back then because I was on drugs. They put all the kids in the system and they offered her help and she denied it.
Yeah, you were on drugs when they told you that. You misunderstood that.
Your Honor,
we're not going to debate that, man. We're not going to debate that.
Okay,
what else you want me to know other than...
she never got any counseling.
Thank you.
Okay. I have 4 other daughters. One started to go in the direction she was going. I didn't want that, so me and that daughter got into an altercation back in 2011. She attacked me with a chair, and we were in the kitchen. So I grabbed the knife off the counter and I cut her hand. She dropped the chair. I was arrested. They charged me with an aggravated battery. I took the plea and done my time. At this time, a month before.
What was that?
What was the time? 5 years. A month before I came home, DCFS gave custody.
Had you been convicted of other crimes in the past?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many?
2, 3.
Oh. You're not sure how many?
I mean, I got a history.
No, Your Honor.
You're not sure how many?
No.
Okay, so it's more than 2 or 3. Because if it was only 2 or 3, you'd be pretty sure unless you lost your memory.
Well, it's like 20-something years, Your Honor. So
yeah, it's been 35 for me. I was arrested 4 times as a juvenile. I was convicted once as a juvenile and once as an adult.
Pretty good memory.
What type of drugs were you on?
Crack cocaine, Your Honor.
You on crack?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people on crack and they remember how many times they were arrested. That's why you got 5 years. How many times she been arrested?
She was a minor.
I bet you know more.
I got her background stuff right here. I wouldn't know, but it say 18 counts.
That's 18 counts. That doesn't mean anything. It said convicted. Anyway, Your Honor, a month before A month before I came home, Danielle had got custody of 2 of my minor children. When I came home, I moved in with her. Now, even though
that's an objection.
This was not under DCFS supervision, but I moved in anyway to help her take care of the children because she wasn't responsible enough to take care of the children.
That's an objection.
So March 17th, me and her got into an argument about a phone charger. I went back and I was talking to the kid's father about what had just occurred because I didn't want to go back to jail, Your Honor. And she called the police.
Why not?
Because next time it's not.
Why not?
Seemed
Because I'm on
like
parole.
you were pretty used to it. Attempted murder, attempted murder, attempted murder,
no.
Aggravated battery, aggravated domestic violence, aggravated domestic violence, aggravated domestic violence.
All those charges were dropped, Your Honor. They couldn't prove none of those things. All those were dropped.
Let me hear from you. Let me hear from you. You're starting to sound like a dope fiend again. Go ahead. Now, you might not be on dope, but you got crackish ways today. Go ahead. Let me hear from you.
Well, growing up, my mother's never always been a mother to me or my other 5 siblings. We actually think she loves her alcohol and drugs more than she did her kids, because if some of her drugs came up short, she'll beat us or try to make us throw up and see if her drugs was in it.
I object, Your Honor. I've never beat them over any drugs. I was a better mother on drugs than mothers that did not.
Anyways, in 2011, she did get incarcerated for stabbing my sister. And 2014, I got custody of 2 of my siblings.
How old are you?
I'm 26. I'll be 27.
How old are your siblings?
At the time, they were 6 and 13. Now they just made 6 and 12. They 13 and 7.
And what years was your mother absent from your life? Or what years was she drug addicted? What years was she a crackhead?
From 0 to 23. 20.
Your Honor, I've been clean 8 years.
Let her finish, ma'am. Let me hear from her.
8 years.
And
so, 8 years.
All right. So, ma'am, please. Young lady, I wanted to applaud you for what you're doing, what you went through, and the fact that you're now taking care of your siblings.
I don't have them now because she got them taken from my home.
How so?
I got incarcerated in January for some Vicodin pills.
What are you laughing at?
Your Honor,
Yeah, see, what bothers me is when you crackhead mamas who then chose crack over your babies, and they don't come out perfect because you've neglected and abandoned them for crack. And then she ends up suffering. She ends up incurring the consequences.
Your Honor, that's not my demeanor. I love my daughter, and I want help.
You love crack more.
I was incarcerated. Everything is right there. I got locked up for some Vicodin pills. I went to visit my god sister. I came outside, me and my boyfriend. The police pulled up and said, "Is this a domestic?" and put all us on the car. As they searching us, I said, "I have some Vicodin pills in this pocket because I have severe abdominal pains that I have every month."
You have a legitimate prescription. I'm looking right at it. You have a legitimate health history.
So they locked me up because I didn't have my ID or no prescription, or the pills wasn't in the prescription bottle. So they informed me I could cop out for 4 days of drug classes. I did that. I finished them. The case could get dismissed and thrown out or whatever. My mother here called Section 8 DCFS and informed them that I was selling and using ecstasy pills. That's why I was incarcerated.
Your Honor, I never said she was selling anything. I said she's a user. She is a current user.
And I haven't used ecstasy in 5, 6 years,
Your Honor, that's not true. Her and her boyfriend, I stayed in the house with her for 6 months. Me and the children had to endure all the weed smoking, all the smoking pot.
I smoke weed.
You went over there because you heard some good drugs over there. I know you did.
So
I know you did stay over there.
Me and
I know you had to have her removed, didn't you?
Yeah.
You couldn't sleep at night without her knocking on the door. Y'all doing anything in there? Got a hit?
Me and the children had to endure, the domestic violence, but I never said anything about
domestic violence.
I never said anything about to DCFS because I was there with the children. The children were happy that I was there, and I was happy to be with the children. March 17th, she called the police, had me removed from her home.
Why?
Because we got into it about a phone charge.
No, because she always come to my house raising
DCFS asked her to remove all the dogs from her home. Her boyfriend kept one of the dogs.
The following day.
My children were there.
I know. Who contacted them?
I called them.
The very next day?
Yes,
After
sir.
she put you out?
Yes, sir.
Or asked you to leave?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
Your Honor,
what are you suing her for?
When I came the next day to get my belongings, I had contacted her by text message asking her, do I need to bring the police with me to get my belongings? I stayed there for 6 months. So the next day I called, the police took me over there. She said I didn't have anything there. I texted her again. I said, look, Danielle, don't do anything crazy. Just give me my belongings. And she wouldn't. So I have the itemized list of the belongings.
Okay, let me see your list. What happened, young lady?
Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning. She thinks she gave me Section 8. When she got incarcerated, Your Honor, since I was 18, she always told me I'm not on her link card, I'm not on her Section 8. So when she got incarcerated, a couple of months passed, Section 8 called me like, hey, your mother's incarcerated, you didn't tell us, we're gonna take the Section 8. So I went down there and talked to the people and say, hey, I knew nothing of this, I'm not on her lease. They told me, they gave me the Section 8, long story short. So now her whole thing is, I gave you Section 8, I did this, I did that. I have a video that you can also see of how she thinks my house is so her house.
Your Honor,
Let's see the video.
You don't tell me, this smile!
All that phone.
This smile! I'm telling you. This got to go, man. Tonight. He got to go. Put him out, Danielle. I promise you. Put him out. Put him out before he be dead. The crackhead be dead.
Oh, you mad about that crack? Okay.
No, I'm mad now.
That's a 50. Y'all should just gave her some of that.
He almost had just
You mad about that crack, doctor?
No.
I bet you won't deny no crack no more.
No.
Go ahead, young lady.
And these is the text messages that she's talking about that I denied her from getting anything. She got everything. Okay. I went to the school to get the kids on the 18th, and as we was walking up, my mother was standing outside with the police. She informed me she had some stuff in my house. I told her, no, you do not. My little sister said, yeah, she do got a couple of things up there. She went upstairs, grabbed whatever she had, and she has it all, except for a bed and a couch that she got from my auntie.
No.
Where are those things?
It's still at my home waiting to get thrown out because it's infested with bed bugs.
But I haven't been there for months. They're not my bed bugs.
Yes, they is because I told her don't bring the stuff to my house because
I haven't been there for a couple of months.
Okay.
And she kept
What's your
wanting
counterclaim for?
It's for defamation of character and emotional distress because this was just too much. She called Section 8 and told them that I got incarcerated for ecstasy pills. She called DCFS and got my siblings taken. She called the dog pound and told them that my 2 pit bulls is ripping and running up and down the streets when I stay on the 2nd floor and there's 4 doors to get out my front door and back.
I told them that you had a dog there that had not had their shots.
Ma'am, she says you can get your property, so I'm going to give you...
But you just said they're full of bed bugs.
Right, so it's still yours.
They're not my bed bugs.
Yes, it is. It's your property.
I haven't been there.
They was your sister.
You have 10 days to get your property.
I haven't been there,
and your claim is granted. Your claim is granted.
What about my other belongings?
You can get it all. Your claim is granted. She retaliated against you by calling Section 8. She retaliated against you over the dogs, so that has caused you emotional distress. Your judgment is granted, and you get your things within 10 days. You'll give them to her within 10 days, won't you? You have to go and get it. Well, if you don't want it, your claim is dismissed. Good. You don't want it.
Thank you.
Dismissed. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. How you gonna try to give me some bed bug stuff? Talk about go get it.
Because I told you don't bring it to my house when your sister told you she got a check for bed bugs and you had to pay $20, $30. So why am I bit up?
Why you still got it in your house?
Because you suing me for it, and I wasn't gonna throw it away until I got that. It's dismissed. It could go in the garbage now.
You still getting beat up? I mean,
exactly. Because I would rather get ate up than happen to get sued for something that I don't have.
He should have heard that. That's insanity. Them drugs right there. Talking about you would rather get ate up. Now see, you gonna try to blame all that stuff on me. All that stuff on me.
Your sister gave you that with your dumb ass.
See how disrespectful.
What's disrespectful? See how disrespectful you is? Where your kids at?
On their way home.
Exactly.
On their way home.
Exactly.
On their way home.
Exactly. Keep up your kids' life like you do, baby.